Number 9 in Unit 1 Review 1 has 3 different transformations, parts A, B, and C. It says use the diagram below to answer each question. They give us this graph with triangle XYZ graphed for us. Part A asks us to reflect the given triangle across the x-axis. And then it asks us what would be the new coordinates of x prime, y prime, z prime once we reflect it. So first, let's remember what the x-axis is. This is this line going straight across left to right. So we don't actually have to graph anything, but I'm going to highlight it, kind of draw over it so we remember where we're reflecting over. Now when we reflect it, we're taking this shape and flipping it down. Now with the reflection, I could show with tracing paper, but one way without it is if we look at where the coordinate, this vertex y is, it's 1 unit away from that x-axis, so I'm going to go the same distance on the other side. When we reflect, it has to represent with the same distance. So there's my new y prime. Now z, I'm going to do the same thing. Z is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away, also down here. There's z prime. The x now is 1, 2 away. 1, 2 away. There's my x prime. Once I connect, now I've finished my reflection. And look, it is backwards. It's got the mirror image below across the x-axis. Now I need my coordinates. For x prime, I'm at -2 down, so I'm at 0 and -2 on the y-axis. Y prime is right 1, 2, 3 and down 1, 3 and -1. Z is right 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, +2 and -5. So there's part A. Now I'm going on to part B. And they were nice enough to give us a triangle again. They're giving us the same exact triangle, XYZ. Now we're reflecting across the y-axis. So if I go back to part A, here, there was a reflecting down across the x-axis. Now I'm going to take it and reflect across this y-axis to the left. So now I'm going to highlight, kind of dash over that y-axis. There's your y-axis. Now if I look at x, notice that x is right on the y-axis. To reflect it, it's not going anywhere. This is going to stay exactly where it is. So right now, for the new coordinates of x prime, it's just going to be 0 and +2. It's not going to go anywhere at all. Y prime, now instead of going up and down, I'm going left to right. I'm 1, 2, 3 away. 1, 2, 3 in this direction. There's my y prime. And I'll go ahead and put the coordinates here. It's my 3 left and 1 up, so that's -3 and +1. Z prime is 1, 2 away from the y-axis. 1, 2, z prime. Graph those, connect them. There's my reflection now across the y-axis. And the coordinates for z prime are -2 and +5. So there's your reflection across the y-axis for part B. Part C, typically the most difficult one, and I am going to look at, first says draw the line y equals -2. And this is actually another reflection, all 3 are reflections. Y equals -2. Now on the y-axis, a lot of people get confused. Remember, as soon as I say line, that means you actually have to draw a line. It's going to either be vertical or horizontal. Since the y variable is by itself, that's going to be your horizontal line. If it was the x by itself, then it's vertical. So x by some number by itself, vertical, y is some number horizontal. Now y at -2, there's a -2 on the y-axis. So I just put a point there, but that just gives me a reference for where the line is going to go through. Remember, since it's y, it's going left to right, so it's going left to right through that point. Now it says reflect triangle XYZ across y equals -2. So now it's the same idea. We're reflecting like we did on part B and on part A. The difference is on those I drew the dashed line on the actual axis. This time, here's my dashed line I'm reflecting over. So if I use the same method, y is 1, 2, 3 away from the dashed line. Notice I'm going past the axis. 1, 2, 3 away, 1, 2, 3, same distance. There's my y prime. Z is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's my new z prime. X is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's x prime. I connect those three. And then the last thing I need to do is write the coordinates for each point. So now remember, with the coordinates, don't get confused by the dashed line. We're going still from the origin, from the center. So for x prime, we're down at -6, which would be 0, -6. Y prime, starting here is right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 3 and -5. Z prime is right 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoop, counting wrong. Right 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down at -9. So +2 and -9 for Z prime. And there are your reflections in number 9.